welcome to this quiet little corner of the internet. I don't really have a plan today, I'm just painting, thinking, and letting the day be what it is. If you're here, thanks for being a part of it. The first thing I'm finding is a royalty-free photo to reference, and I'm going on from there. I'm using the Himi gouache paint palette. It's a new material, and I'm not really experienced with it, but it does make a nice sound if you listen. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Tara? But I'm also gonna do a little visual journal type thing. Lately, my mind's been a mix of happy thoughts and some heavy ones. You know, those days where you're not exactly sad, but there's this strange, quiet, thick fog around you. Not good or bad, you just feel a little bit stuck. I think painting helps me sit in that space without having to explain it. When I'm painting or drawing, I'm able to focus on something else, and all those thoughts that are floating around in my brain are finally quiet. Sometimes I'm even able to calmly process those thoughts and come up with creative ideas when I'm doing something else. For me, creating and painting or drawing, that process helps me remember that sometimes you have to keep going when you don't exactly like how something's turning out. You have to keep working on it. Even if it doesn't look like how you want it to at that very moment. There was a lot of times during this painting process where I was getting frustrated because it didn't look how I wanted it to just yet. Anyhow, I kind of feel like that's a big fat metaphor for a lot of things in life. It might not look great just yet, but you have to have a little faith in time, in yourself, and then you'll be able to take a step back and admire all the work you did. Honestly, it's been a minute since I've painted, and it can be scary to pick up the paintbrush after you put it down for a while. But just like other scary things I've come across, the more you avoid them, the more the stress grows. For any person who's doing art or anything else that makes you nervous, but you really want to do it, my advice is to just get started. That's what I'm telling myself even with this video. I was also nervous about how to start posting on YouTube, so I took the stress off, I just made a picture, wrote down a bunch of thoughts, and I just did it. I feel like there's this pull for me to do something with my skills and my talents, things I'm interested in, my creativity, my writing, and I can't exactly figure out how to do it. I wonder, do you ever feel like that? Like knowing what you want to do, but not sure just how? Finding direction or an idea and being able to stick to it is actually really hard for me. I've had this great idea to make a website, write a blog, write a children's book, do more on YouTube, but somehow in the middle I always get stuck. You know, it gets really hard. Life happens, more important things seem to come up, or life just gets busy, and I do my best not to eat cereal for dinner. I really hope that eventually all of these projects I'm hoping to do will be done one day. Then I'll get back to them, and I'll be able to finish them. And I feel like I'd be really proud of myself if I did that. Also, I'm really enjoying how the paintings look at this point. I start to be like, oh, that's really nice. I actually like it. So this is where I was kind of getting that metaphor I was talking about earlier. Also, going back to being impressed or proud, that's something I've been working on too. I put a lot of value on what I can get done, how well I'm able to do things. It's been difficult to adjust that belief. Instead of putting value on what I can do, I've been working on putting the value on who I am and myself, even if nothing gets done. It takes a lot of time, patience, practice. If you're in the same boat, some advice from your old friend Marissa, try to be kind to yourself. You being you is enough. Also, I decided to paint these sunflowers because they looked really joyful. I think we should also just surround ourselves with things that make us smile. A wise woman once told me that I couldn't take life too seriously and that I should always laugh every day. Another wise woman once told me that we have power over our perspectives and we should try and find our own happiness. These wise women are actually my mom and grandma, who are very silly, laughter-filled, and incredibly strong ladies. While there are definitely troubling times in life, I like the idea that we have power to see positives in our life. I believe it might even be essential to look for the positives during the most difficult times. I know for me, I want to keep looking for sunflowers, sunsets, and other beautiful things during my days. Anyhow, I'm almost done with this painting and I'm really happy with it. Thanks for sticking around, listening to all my thoughts in this journal entry, and I hope that you stick around for the next one. Thanks so much. Bye!